The Kralnar, masters of the hunt, gathered in their war chamber to recount their triumphs. Commander Dorax reminded his warriors with pride that 7 new species had been subdued this season, including the Bell, psychics who once believed their powers would save them, until Kralnar immunity proved otherwise. But troubling whispers had reached them from the galactic rim. Reports spoke of fragile creatures called humans. The hologram projected their image: frail bipeds without claws, without armor, absurdly vulnerable. Scientific Officer Pax stepped forward, explaining that despite their obvious weaknesses, 3 powerful empires had signed non-aggression pacts with the humans. Even the fearsome Zargot had surrendered territory after encountering them. Dorax laughed, dismissing it as cowardice or a trick, and vowed to see the truth with his own eyes. The analysis confirmed the absurdity. Humans had no venom, no natural armor, brittle bones, flat teeth, and only 2 weak arms. Their vision was so limited they were nearly blind compared to Kralnar's senses. The hunters agreed. Only a handful of warriors would suffice to seize specimens and claim new trophies. Dorax selected 4 of his best. Though most were convinced humans were nothing but feeble prey, Pax could not shake an unease in the back of her mind. Still, the order was given. The stealth ship descended into Earth's orbit, cloaked from detection. Below them, humanity's so-called defenses were nothing but scattered metal husks drifting aimlessly through the void. Commander Draxar studied the so-called human defense grid with growing amusement. Scattered satellites, primitive signals, nothing resembling a true shield. Their technology looked crippled, like a hatchling that never grew its fangs. Still, he chose a dense forest as their landing site. The air was breathable, gravity lighter than Krynner standard, the climate ideal. This would be an easy hunt. They carried no lethal weapons, why bother? Their natural strength would suffice against such soft-skinned prey. The hunters emerged in a forest clearing and advanced toward a human camp. Tents made of fabric, vehicles powered by combustion engines, relics from a forgotten age. Then they saw it, a lone human, loading gear into a pack. Draxar hissed with satisfaction. Perfect. The trap was set, Havert closed from the right, Kale from the left, while Rin and Solik prepared the stasis net. But when Solik revealed himself, expecting the human to panic and flee, something unimaginable happened. The creature reached for its hip, drew a small object, and thunder cracked through the forest. A primitive projectile had torn through Solik's armored plate. Impossible, yet the human was already moving, not fleeing blindly but scaling a sheer rock wall with startling speed. The Krynner tried to follow, but their weight and 6-limbed physiology betrayed them. The human moved higher, vanishing into the canopy above, pace steady, as though it could run for hours. Draxar's disbelief hardened into unease. The prey was not running away, it was circling back. It was hunting them. Their surveillance revealed even stranger truths. Humans dangling from cliffs on nothing but thin cords and metal spikes, risking death for recreation. Others marched for hours beneath heavy packs, calling it hiking, venturing into wilderness for no reason but pleasure. Then came the most disturbing sight of all, a hunting party. 3 humans moved through the forest in perfect formation, primitive rifles in hand, covering each other's blind spots instinctively. They stayed downwind of their quarry, tracking with patience that lasted for hours without pause. The Krynner had come to Earth seeking easy prey. What they found instead was a species that courted danger, thrived in hostile ground, and hunted with the discipline of predators. When the Krynner finally witnessed a human kill, the truth became undeniable. 1 shot, straight through the vital organs. No wasted energy, no unnecessary suffering, a hunter's mercy. Commander Draxar's mandibles clicked in grim recognition. These are not prey, he thought. They are hunters. That night he set a new plan. They would strike an isolated cabin, 2 adults and a child. With their numbers and strength, it should have been effortless. But the humans had been waiting. Alarms shrieked, traps snapped shut, and the ground itself gave way. Rin was dragged into a sticky pit, Solik's armor was pierced, and Max was entangled by molecular adhesive. From the shadows, a male human advanced, not retreating, with a weapon far deadlier than before. His mate and child slipped away through a hidden passage. The ambush had turned. The hunters were prey. Later, the Krynner watched in disbelief as chaos gave way to perfect efficiency. Within minutes, Humans established a perimeter, deployed scanners, recovered the wounded without a single casualty on either side. They even treated Zool's shattered limb with surgical care. And then came the warning. Armed aircraft converging, less than 20 minutes out. But Draxar refused to leave empty-handed. He proposed an exchange. Humans accepted, or so it seemed. The clearing lit up like a second dawn. Aircraft roared overhead, floodlights cut through the trees, and voices thundered demands of surrender. It had been a trap all along. Javik fell first, precision rounds tearing through the vulnerable joints of his armor, knowledge no outsider should have. Draxar fought like the legend he was, but for every human he struck down, 3 more appeared, adapting to his every move. And all the while, the humans were laughing. In the undergrowth, hunted for hours, Draxar realized with creeping dread, to them, this was no desperate struggle. This was a game. Vera, the science officer, delivered the final blow to his understanding. Humans evolved as persistence hunters. They don't need claws, or fangs, or venom. They have sweat to cool themselves, legs to run for days, and tools that adapt faster than evolution. They hunt not just for survival, but for sport, for challenge, for fun. The apex predators of the galaxy were not being stocked as trophies. They were being studied, as creatures to tame. Humans do not hunt out of instinct, but out of choice. They can become apex predators when the situation demands it, or they can choose to be diplomats, scientists, or artists, whatever serves their complex social goals. The science officer Vera displayed one last image, a human family playing with a domesticated predator from their world, a massive canid bred for the hunt yet serving as a gentle protector of their children. They do not seek to exterminate us, she concluded softly, nor do they wish to compete. What they desire is friendship. Through their long evolutionary path they have learned that keeping predators as allies is far more advantageous than facing them as enemies. Brand Commander Draxar studied the image for a long, heavy moment before asking, and if we reject this friendship? Vera's compound eyes dimmed slightly. Then it would be wise to avoid human space forever, Commander. Because what makes humans the most dangerous species we have ever encountered is not their technology, nor their strength, but their patience, and their ability to see every species not as prey or predator but as potential friend or foe. The choice, they allow us to make. But whichever we choose, they are terrifyingly prepared.